Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pradeep, Ambassador of Change from GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute of Lucknow. We are the premier training institute for principals and teachers in India and in several countries abroad. We have many pre-service and in-service programs. And for more information on these, please go to 740-840-1000. Right now, you are on our disruptive education platform. And on this platform, we have met with and interacted with more than 1,450 educators from India and all over the world. And this afternoon, we have for you Mrs. Kanika Sajal Anand. She is the principal of Edify School, Nagpur, Maharashtra. She has several hobbies. She plays TT. She likes adventurous trips, listening to music and reading. And she is also the National Advisor of Youth United Council of India. She is young and dynamic, optimistic, and she has served the DY Patil Shantiniketan in Kolhapur as the principal, and the Royal Gondwana Public School, Nagpur. And presently, you know where she is with the Edify School and Junior College, Nagpur. She was brought up in Solan and did her education from initial education from Himachal, and then did her MA from Shivaji University in Kolhapur. She's energetic, polite, motivated, and a dynamic professional, a visionary, and she has several national and international awards and honors. She won the Nachikita Award from the hands of General V.K. Singh, and basically she is also a disciplinarian, and she blames it on her father, who was an officer in the Intelligence Bureau. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
She will be speaking on how do children benefit from bilingual education. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. And I'm very happy to be here on this platform. And I thank you, sir, for having me here. So if I may present the presentation now. Sir, if you can help me present. Yeah, thank you. So I'll be speaking on how do children benefit from bilingual education. But before I go about speaking about the benefits of bilingual education, I think I must tell you all that what bilingual education actually stands for. So bilingual education refers to use of two or more languages as medium of instruction in school. And today's talk should also be bilingual. So kahin na kahin, I'll switch to Hindi, and so that I get more of an audience to listen to. I always question myself and my school and all other schools as well, that we always promote our schools as in English medium schools or Punjabi medium schools or Hindi medium schools or maybe Marathi medium schools. But कभी भी ऐसा होता नहीं है कि हम लोग अपने schools को promote करें and we call our schools to be bilingual medium schools or maybe multilingual medium schools, which is the need of the hour. And why do we need to promote bilingual education in school? I'll come to the point now, and I hope that you are clear that what bilingual education stands for. So yeah, what is the importance of bilingual education and why should we be focusing on or stressing on bilingual education? There are various reasons, and I curtailed some of the reasons and tried to present in front of you the best of all, which I thought that everybody would agree on. What is the importance of bilingual education? Maybe the better understanding. Because आप imagine करिए कोई 4-year-old or 5-year-old child entering the school, so-called English medium school. I am not against English medium schools. Let me clarify that also. I'm heading an English medium school. But then, just imagine a child who is entering the school for the first time and his native language or his mother tongue is maybe Marathi or maybe Hindi or maybe Punjabi, but once he enters the school, the first thing he gets is the instructions are all in a foreign language. तो बच्चा समझेगा क्या? वो पहले टाइम ही first time when he enters, he is being instructed in different language, and then the medium becomes English or maybe some other language which he does not understand. So English is actually, we need to accept the fact that English is a second language in India. I may be coming from the background of Punjabi native language, or maybe I may be very fluent in Hindi. कई Hindi speaking states हैं India में, बहुत से multi dialects हैं, but language तो नहीं हो सकता है. And जो बच्चे foundation years में, if they get the instruction from a foreign language, it becomes very difficult for them to understand the concepts, or what is the crux of education, to make the child understand the concepts. But uska, why should language be a barrier in learning in that case? एक language barrier क्यों हो जाए किसी बच्चे को कुछ भी concept सीखने के लिए? Because it is very easy for us to promote ourselves as English medium schools, the so-called various medium schools, but जब तक हम bilingual नहीं हो सकते, whenever a child is being taught in the class, we need to make sure that whether the child is actually understanding the concept or not. और सिर्फ लैंग्वेज की वजह से अगर वो बैरियर हो जाते हैं और बच्चे एक्सप्रेस भी नहीं कर पाते हैं, you must have seen and you must have experienced in school, whenever a teacher asks any question to the child and if the question is thrown in English language, most of the students would not even raise their hands, most of the students would not even like to come in front of the assembly and speak on any topic. And if you tell them that, okay, you want to express this certain topic in front of all of us, but you are free to speak on whichever language you are comfortable with, and I'm sure that children will express themselves. So that is what I'm stressing on, कि बच्चों को बिल्कुल भी किसी language की वजह से learning में barrier नहीं होना चाहिए. In that case, we are not being fair with our children. And we all know that India has multi-dialects, not one. We have our regional languages, we have our native languages, we have, various tribes living in India. So we have those tribal languages too. और ये जो dialects हैं, कितने dialects तो हमको मालूम भी नहीं है. We are getting away with the dialects, native languages. कितना हम लोग अपनी भाषा में बात करते हैं, चाहे वो पंजाबी हो, मराठी हो, गुजराती हो. लेकिन एक बच्चा जिस घर से आता है, वहाँ पे of course the first language is the language of the family background and their religion, and maybe the place they are living in, the state, the region they are living in. So of course, another important point which I covered was that it is very important for us to stress on bilingual education to build the confidence in the child. कोई भी बच्चे को हम स्टार्टिंग में ही अगर एक फॉरेन लैंग्वेज से इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं, तो वो एक फॉरेन लैंग्वेज शुड बी ट्रीटेड जस्ट एज अ लैंग्वेज एंड एज अ लैंग्वेज लर्निंग, but not as medium of instruction to learn all other subjects. So that is what I think, that we need to actually stress on introducing or accepting or adapting bilingual education in our schools as soon as possible, and get away with the pseudo love of a foreign language. क्योंकि ये as an educator I know, as a parent I know, as the head of the school I know कि हमको कितना एक सूडो प्यार है एक फॉरेन लैंग्वेज से. हम सभी को लगता है कि हमारे बच्चे बहुत फ्लुएंट हो उस लैंग्वेज में जो कि फॉरेन लैंग्वेज है, which is something not to boast of, because of course English is a global language. I am not against English language at all. We need to keep encouraging our children to learn this language because it is a global language, but it is a language. It should not be a medium of instruction in our Indian schools, क्योंकि हम बच्चों की creativity को तभी खत्म कर देते हैं जब एक हम first grader को कोई topic देते हैं बात करने के लिए, and we give instructions that you are not supposed to speak in Hindi, you are not supposed to speak in Marathi, you are not supposed to speak in Gujarati, you just have to express yourself in English. The moment you are entering the school campus, you are supposed to follow the rules of English speaking in that particular school. So we need to be very, very flexible with our children when it comes to language, because या तो बच्चा समझेगा नहीं, या बच्चा एक्सप्रेस नहीं करेगा, या बच्चा बोलेगा नहीं, and he will not. There are very few children who will catch really fast and will be really fluent, because that also comes from the family background. We have first generation, second generation, third generation English speaking parents and children. So we do not know how many children are coming from the third generation of English speaking or second generation English speaking or first generation. अगर 3 जनरेशन से भी पेरेंट्स इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग रहे हैं, ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग रहे हैं और बच्चा आता है, फिर भी इट्स अ डिफिकल्ट टास्क फॉर आवर चिल्ड्रन टू अंडरस्टैंड द वेरियस कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ अदर सब्जेक्ट्स इफ द मीडियम ऑफ instruction is a foreign language. That is what I strongly believe in also. So that is what I wanted you all to know, because एक बहुत ही सिंपल स्टेटमेंट है ये, कि अगर मुझे कोई भी साइंस का कॉन्सेप्ट सीखना है तो मुझे इंग्लिश के थ्रू ही क्यों सीखना है, मुझे क्यों 2-3 लैंग्वेजेस में नहीं सिखाया जा सकता, क्यों मैं एक बाइलिंगुअल मीडियम स्कूल में पढ़ूं, क्यों ना पढ़ूं, क्यों मैं मल्टीलिंगुअल मीडियम स्कूल में ना पढ़ूं, और मुझे सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही लैंग्वेज के थ्रू कोई कॉन्सेप्ट क्यों सिखाया जाए। इसीलिए बाइलिंगुअल एजुकेशन का होना बहुत जरूरी है हमारे स्कूल्स में, राइट फ्रॉम फाउंडेशन ईयर्स till the student reaches the senior classes. बहुत से बच्चे रिलक्टेंट हो जाते हैं, हेजिटेंट हो जाते हैं, they feel that they cannot express themselves in a particular language, and if at all they try, they are afraid of being bullied or being laughed at if they make any mistakes. तो ये एक, क्योंकि उतना फ्लुएंसी नहीं होता है, और मैं बात कर रही हूँ जनरली मोस्ट ऑफ द इंडियन स्कूल्स की, बजट स्कूल्स की, मोस्ट ऑफ द CBSE schools, IB board schools, IGSE board, local board schools, state board schools. आप किसी भी स्कूल में जाएंगे, किसी भी इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल में भी जाएंगे, you'll go and you'll get to know, even if you enter any random class and you ask children to speak and express themselves on a simple topic, and you tell them that you just have to express in English, you'll see that hardly 3 or 4 students out of 40 will be ready to explain themselves or express themselves. एंड अगर आप यही बात बोल दें कि आपको जिस लैंग्वेज में कंफर्टेबल लगता है आप बात करिए, एक्सप्रेस करिए, तो देखिए बच्चे कितना एक्सप्रेसिव होते हैं और कितने खुश होकर एक्सप्रेस करते हैं अपने आप को। तो लैंग्वेज तो सिखाना ही है, इंग्लिश भी सिखाना है क्योंकि वो ग्लोबल लैंग्वेज है, लेकिन एक लैंग्वेज की तरह ही सिखाना है, एक मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन इंग्लिश तो नहीं होना चाहिए। एंड हाउ कैन वी डू दैट? क्योंकि ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जिसमें आई नो पेरेंट्स एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द एजुकेटर्स मे अग्री और मे नॉट अग्री ऑल्सो, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा कि हमको लगता है कि हमारा बच्चा इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल में जा रहा है तो उसको बहुत फ्लुएंट होना चाहिए इंग्लिश में, और उसको तो आना ही चाहिए बहुत इंग्लिश में बात करना, तो वो एक एज लैंग्वेज जरूर सीख सकता है, लेकिन वी एज एजुकेटर्स वी नीड टू कैरी आउट अवेयरनेस कैंपेन्स, and we need to orient all the stakeholders. We need to tell them the importance of bilingual education. Until unless we orient, who would? And ये तो एक start है. आज I'm very happy that GETI gave me a chance and a platform to speak on this important topic. क्योंकि बहुत बहुत जरूरी है कि we believe in what we believe in and we work for that. So बहुत से awareness campaigns हमें पेरेंट्स को साथ लेके, स्टेक होल्डर्स को साथ लेके, अपने स्टेक होल्डर्स जो कि हमारे वेंडर्स हो सकते हैं, पब्लिशर्स हो सकते हैं, एक ही मीडियम में एक पर्टिकुलर स्पेसिफिक बुक फॉर अ स्कूल अगर है, फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर CBSE स्कूल, एज आई एम हेडिंग वन ऑफ द CBSE स्कूल्स, अगर हमारा CBSE स्कूल है और ये इट्स अ बाइलिंगुअल स्कूल और मल्टीलिंगुअल स्कूल, so I may request and I shall request the vendors and the publishers to publish the same book in the languages required for my children in my school, because most of the children who would be coming to my school will be maybe Maharashtrians, or in Nagpur itself there are schools wherein many tribal children get enrolled in CBSE schools. तो वो जो ट्राइबल बच्चे हैं उनकी ट्राइबल लैंग्वेज है जो उनको ज्यादा समझ में आती है, फिर उनकी सेकेंड लैंग्वेज हो जाती है मराठी क्योंकि वो महाराष्ट्र में रह रहे हैं, और थर्ड लैंग्वेज जाके इंग्लिश हो जाता है। तो इंग्लिश को फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज तो हम बोल ही नहीं सकते हैं, वी शुड नेवर डू दैट एंड वी शुड नेवर से दैट एज वेल। और अगर and it's not, you know, I'm just saying and we shouldn't work on it, it needs to you know, call for many debates and deliberations that how do we achieve what we want to achieve, because if we are getting 50 or 100 tribal children enrolled in our school, we need one educator who knows the language of that tribe. Then we need localized help, we need local educators for that, you know, language educators for that. So that is what I was getting at. And parents as first teachers, as I said, that first generation, second generation, third generation, we don't know which background the child is coming from, and parents are the first teachers. वो घर पे जो लैंग्वेज बोलते हैं वही बच्चा सीखते हुए हमारे पास आता है जब वो 4 साल 5 साल या 6 साल का होता है। तो if the child has, you know, got the habit of learning and speaking and expressing something in one language, all of a sudden एक दिन में उसको instructions मिल जाते हैं कि आपको यही language use करना है, which is English or be it any other medium language also. Bilingual होना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर I am not just focusing on regional language, क्योंकि me in Maharashtra, I know that we do have Maharashtrian children who are Marathi speaking, but we also have children coming from various states who do not know Marathi at all. So then the communication becomes easier if they know Hindi or if they know English. So all these languages are very very important, but एक ही language नहीं, इसीलिए bilingual education पे I am talking on. And we need to make conscious efforts to teach in mother tongue, और वो conscious efforts आने चाहिए क्योंकि हमें we should be proud of, you know, speaking and instructing our children in their own mother tongue, in our own mother language or mother tongue. हम लोग बहुत दूर हो रहे हैं अपनी मातृभाषा से, अपनी रीजनल लैंग्वेज से, अपने डायलेक्ट से, तो इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हम कुछ तो करें और you know, at least deliberations तो start करें, and we need to have a very realistic approach towards bilingual education in school, because better sense of cultural background तो रहेगा ही if you understand. अगर I am a Punjabi who is born and brought up in Himachal, एक पंजाबी स्पीकिंग फैमिली से आके पली बड़ी हिमाचल में हूँ, तो मुझे हिमाचली लैंग्वेज विच इज पहाड़ी लैंग्वेज वो भी आना चाहिए, मुझे मेरा पंजाबी भी आना चाहिए। अगर मैं 6-7 साल से महाराष्ट्र में रह रही तो मुझे मराठी भी आना चाहिए, एंड ऑफ कोर्स इंग्लिश, बिकॉज इंग्लिश इज द नीड ऑफ द आवर एज वेल। लेकिन एक ही लैंग्वेज पे हम फोकस नहीं कर सकते हैं। अगर वी नीड टू लर्न समथिंग, वी नीड टू लर्न थ्रू आवर own native language, because that makes it easier for us to understand the concepts or the theories or the practicals or whatever we are doing. So foreign language, you know, it kind of makes us alien towards our own culture and heritage. बहुत shameful हो जाते हैं हम अगर हमको अंग्रेजी नहीं आता है तो इसीलिए ये तो सबसे पहले है कि I spoke in the previous slide that we have to orient all the stakeholders, including parents and all our vendors, so that they know the importance of mother tongue and of course bilingual education, and of course the regional languages also. And you know, NEP also suggests that, NEP also, new education policy, that also recommends teaching through mother tongue. So if new education policy is focusing on, we must focus on. यहाँ पे मुझे एक और बात I want you to know that Orissa is the only state जिसने बहुत साल पहले मदर टंग मैंडेटरी किया, एक रूल पास किया कि मदर टंग में ही बच्चा पढ़ेगा, और ग्रेजुअली वो दूसरे लैंग्वेजेस से इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाएगा। लाइक फर्स्ट ग्रेड में विल बी लर्निंग हिज ओन नेटिव लैंग्वेज, then gradually he will be introduced to the state language, and then to the national language and the global language. And it has shown, striking results after it was being introduced. So if Orissa can do, we all can do that. And of course, uh, there are somewhere around 150 to 200 studies done on bilingual and mother tongue, that how do children benefit, and all these studies show that children benefit if they are taught through their mother tongue. So एक ही मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं हो सकता है, मदर टंग होना बहुत जरूरी है, रीजनल लैंग्वेज का होना बहुत जरूरी है, और वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन इट. एंड when I said that it's very important for us to change our medium of instruction in schools, I said that on facts, and you can see the reasons, and I'll explain you. Child's teaching begins at home in the mother tongue, and that faster learning is generally in the initial years, which is till he enters the school. और जब वो बच्चा स्कूल में आ जाता है, तो अगर हमारा इंस्ट्रक्शन सिर्फ एक ही लैंग्वेज पे फोकस करता है, मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन, तो बच्चा सिर्फ और सिर्फ वो लैंग्वेज लर्निंग के प्रेशर में आ जाता है, एंड हिज क्रिएटिविटी गेट्स सबड्यूड समवेयर इनसाइड, क्योंकि हम ही उसको we get it subdued. We don't let the child grow and express himself. लेकिन जब तक वो घर पे है, बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्रेस करता है अपने आप को. एंड ऑफ कोर्स, आई मीन, जब आप बाइलिंगुअल एजुकेशन इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं, जब आप मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस एक लैंग्वेज ना रख के मल्टी लैंग्वेजेस को करते हैं या बाइलिंगुअल करते हैं, तो इट विल बूस्ट कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ each and every child. He would realize that, okay, all right, I may not express myself better in English, but I'll be very good if I'm given a chance to express myself in my native language, in my mother tongue. So of course he will have more confidence and better confidence and sense of belonging. जिस स्टेट में आप रहते हैं, जिस रीजन से आप आते हैं, you need to have that sense of belonging. और जब तक आप बोलेंगे नहीं, सीखेंगे नहीं, एक्सप्रेस नहीं करेंगे, इंस्ट्रक्ट नहीं करेंगे बच्चों को, तो वो सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंग से तो बच्चा दूर ही हो जाएगा. तो ये सेंस ऑफ बिलोंगिंग तो we all need to have, that we belong to this particular country and we speak this language. हम सब states के अलग अलग languages हैं, कुछ हिंदी डोमिनेटिंग स्टेट्स हैं, कुछ अदर लैंग्वेजेस हैं, but we have this sense of belonging that I belong to this state and this is my language. और हम ही रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, we have to be responsible to transfer our own language and sense of belonging to our children, that you belong to this place. Sky is the limit for you, but you belong to this place. Stay rooted. And of course, reduce dropouts. ये fancy schools, yeah, like most of our schools, we do not have dropout rates, but you'll see, अगर आप data देखेंगे आपको समझ आएगा, और जब आप उसके research पे जाएंगे, you'll understand that just because the child is not being taught in his mother tongue, he drops out from the school. And reason is simple, that he does not understand what is being taught. And why he does not understand what is being taught? Because उसको जो सिखाया जाता है उसकी भाषा में नहीं सिखाया जाता है. So we need to be very very realistic. हम बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर सकते हैं कि हमारा बच्चा बहुत फ्लुएंट हो इंग्लिश में. हम इंटेलिजेंस को कैसे आंकते हैं? हम इंटेलिजेंस को आंकते हैं कि कोई बहुत somebody is very fluent in English has to be an intelligent person, but we are not being realistic there. हम फिर वही pseudo beliefs में आ जाते हैं. तो हम जब तक रियलिस्टिक नहीं होंगे, तो I don't think we need to accept the fact कि हमारे बच्चे कहाँ stand करते हैं, just being focusing on English medium schools. And of course it is dwarfing the Indian body, mind and soul. जैसे मैंने कहा कि हमारा एक thought process ही बन गया है कि अंग्रेजी. अंग्रेजी बहुत जरूरी है. I speak and I have done my masters from language, so I know how important English is, but it is as important as my mother tongue is. It is as important as my regional languages. It is as important as my tribal languages. तो कोई भी लैंग्वेज ऊपर या नीचे नहीं है, ना तो मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस के लिए और ना ही बच्चों को कुछ भी सिखाने के लिए. And the World Bank, I'm sure you all know what World Bank is, and it is one of the largest, I must say, organization or platform जो education को fund करते हैं, finance करते हैं throughout the world, and they also suggest कि बच्चों को school में should be taught through mother tongue, and gradually he should be introduced with the global language. And if you have read NCF, which is National Curriculum Framework 2005, which is in sync with NEP, NEP is as good as NCF is. Many educators and many people never bother to read NCF. You must read it. If not, you must read NEP as well. That what NEP focuses on. NEP, New Education Policy, focuses on learning without burden. किसी बोझ के बिना बच्चे को सिखाएं. सबसे बड़ा बोझ तो हम डाल देते हैं. 4-5 साल का बच्चा स्कूल में आता है, instruct, you are going to converse only in English. This is an English medium school. You have to speak in English. Speak, eat, walk, do everything in English. So हम तो बच्चे को बहुत बोझ डाल देते हैं. We put a lot of burden on the child. We must not, and we must follow National Curriculum Framework and New Education Policy. क्योंकि बच्चे पे बर्डन तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए. एंड वी हैव टू हैव चाइल्ड सेंट्रिक अप्रोच. चाइल्ड सेंट्रिक अप्रोच कैसे होगा अगर हम किसी थर्ड लैंग्वेज में बच्चे को पढ़ा रहे हैं? तो हम तो बिल्कुल चाइल्ड सेंट्रिक अप्रोच नहीं हुआ, हमने थर्ड लैंग्वेज सेंट्रिक अप्रोच कर लिया, वेयर अगेन वी आर एट फॉल्ट. तो वी हैव टू करेक्ट आवरसेल्व्स एंड वी हैव टू कम बैक टू चाइल्ड सेंट्रिक अप्रोच इन आवर स्कूल्स. And of course, NEP focuses on enjoyable learning. क्या फन होगा बच्चे को अगर हम किसी थर्ड लैंग्वेज, एक फॉरेन लैंग्वेज में ही हर सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा रहे हैं. एक लैंग्वेज को लैंग्वेज तक ही सीमित रखिए, लेकिन कॉन्सेप्ट शुड गो बियॉन्ड वन लैंग्वेज. If I'm learning one science concept in English better, good for me. But if my friend is not able to gather what is being taught, he or she should be instructed in his own native language. उसको क्योंकि अंग्रेजी नहीं आ रहा है तो उसको एक कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में ना आए, ये दिस इज अनफेयर. दिस इज वेरी अनफेयर. सो medium of communication should be, this is what NEP focus. I strongly believe in that, and NCF and NEP also focuses on medium of communication should be home language. So home language, mother tongue, which is the language spoken by our parents at home, and then there are some Hindi speaking states, or some states wherein some other languages are dominant languages. That comes, and then comes English. तो हमारा medium of communication में English कहाँ stand करता है? You just see, it is at last. But then all three are important. My mother tongue, Hindi, if I know, or Tamil if I know, or whichever language I know, and then comes English. So हमारा medium of communication has to be all these three languages. So I request, and it is an urge to all the educators and the stakeholders and all the principals like me, that start promoting your schools as bilingual medium schools or multilingual medium schools, but not English medium schools, because that is what children are looking for, and that is what our children need, and that is what we must do. So thank you so much. Over to you, Pradeep sir.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you for that talk, ma'am. And it's important, a little revolutionary for normal thinking, but worth looking into. And good afternoon, everybody. And before we leave, I request you to watch our detox from our disruptive literacy movement by Global Dream, which has been an initiative by Dr. Sunita Gandhi since 2014. This is to ensure everyone's participation by a people's movement in ensuring India's foundational literacy and numeracy. Uh, we have several talks on this every day. And for the talks that you would like to tune into, please go to 740-840-1000. So thank you, everybody, and good afternoon, and see you again tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am, so much for that talk.